Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here again on the meeting on the mat for the harm, the Alliance for Regenerative Medicine. And I'm pleased to present to you today, again, bone therapeutics, the progress we have made and where we're heading. The usual disclaimer. And clearly, what are we? I mean, there's three main points about bone therapeutics. The fact that we are focusing on our clinical assets, both GTA and ALLO, which are in ongoing clinical trials. We're accelerating the partnerships, both towards commercialization, as well as bringing in technology to do the third priority, which is enlarge our portfolio and access new targets. We have a top-class technology based on differentiated MSCs, supported by a seasoned team that is, as I said, clinical developing as well as doing research. Bone therapeutics overview is presented there in your slide. As I said, we're at clinical stage. We have 3 assets, 2 in clinical, 1 in preclinical, and backed by a strong IP, and we are traded in Euronext. The team is an experienced and passionate team involved in multiple aspects of cell therapy that you can see there, clearly providing the internal knowledge for the development of the products, as well as the face outwards for the partnerships. And why do we have this focus and this passion and this objective of bringing value to patients? Is based on the portfolio that you can see there on the slide. Now, in the orthopedics, you will see that we have 2 assets, one in a fully recruited phase 3 that will deliver results on the second half of this year, third quarter of 2021, a major milestone for the company, and another asset, an MSC-derived osteoblast asset that is in 2 clinical studies, and that has been in 2 clinical studies and is currently on an ongoing study that should deliver results on the second half of 2022. This asset is partnered already for China and Southeast Asia. But beyond that, again, taking advantage of our MSC platform, we have one other product in preclinical stage for the inflammation, and we have others beyond. The essence of our value proposition rests on taking MSCs and educate them, differentiate them towards a therapeutic purpose. We've done that with ALLO, and we're pursuing that on the other indications, and I'll come back to you on that later on. If we now focus on the clinical assets, you will realize here the market opportunity that we have with those 2 assets, both GTA and improved viscous supplement for knee osteoarthritis, competitively positioned versus what exists out there, addressing a significant unmet medical need, and ALLO for difficult fractures and lumbar spinal fusion. As I said, with 2 studies where we've already shown the ability to form bone and address those indications, and currently in a controlled study for difficult fractures. If we dive on each of the assets now, you will see here GTA 004, which is a viscous supplement, an improved viscous supplement that really addresses the important condition of osteoarthritis, knee osteoarthritis, which really addresses the unmet medical need between the existing opportunities now on the market and the need for surgery. It's easy to address in the beginning, in the early stages of the disease. Then you need injections into the knee, and the current propositions still leave an unmet medical gap between them and the surgery that we believe we can address with an improved mechanism of action that combines human plasma hyaluronic acid, and an analgesic agent, really providing a superior cartilage protection, an anti-inflammatory effect, and pain relief. We have seen in an animal model, a non-human primate model, the opportunity for the cartilage to regenerate, which in the clinical study that we've completed and published really shows a significant improvement with our asset versus the market lead from Sanofi, Simvisc, really providing both at month 6 and month 3 after administration an improved clinical benefit. In other words, translating the clinical benefit that we've seen already in the animal model. With that, we are currently following up a completed study with over 700 patients that we conducted across Europe and in Hong Kong, where we're comparing again GTA-004 versus placebo for the confirmation of activity and regulatory purposes, as well as versus the active comparator, where we'll be able to position the superior clinical value that it is delivering versus the existing opportunities in the market and the market leaders, as I said, from Sanofi. This would provide results on the third quarter of this year, and really then taking us closer to the market with this asset, both in Europe and in the US. Now, if I go on to the other asset now and take you to the MSC platform, the essence of our platform is the acquisition of MSCs from bone marrow of a healthy donor, which we then differentiate into a professional therapeutic opportunity in a scaled up process, delivering multiple doses from a single donation. It's allogeneic, it's scalable. Because this cryopreserve is off the shelf, it provides the added value of cell therapy at a industrial proposition that is compatible in terms of cost of goods, return on investment, and value adding for the patients. We have seen with this asset in preclinical studies a significant increased ability of generating bone and resolving fractures. In this model that you can see here of long fractures, we have documented the ability to duplicate speed of bone regeneration, reducing by half the time to recovery of fractures. That's what we aim to replicate. That's the hypothesis for the study, where we aim to go from the current low evolution of fracture resolution with a lot of possibility, opportunity, or events of delayed union and non-union, late-stage complications, go from that slow process to an accelerated process with a consequent reduction of those late-stage complications. So faster resolution, faster recovery, less costs, and reduction of late stage. Now, we have seen with this product already the ability to produce bone in complicated fractures, non-healing fractures, with a corresponding clinical benefit, showing tolerability and ability to form bone in vivo, in human. And we've also been able to fuse vertebral bodies, providing clinical benefit in back pain conditions by really creating bone in between the vertebrae. And we've seen that full bone formation in about 90% of the patients, with partial bone formation in the others. So again, good tolerability and ability to form bone. We're now currently actively recruiting for a study across Europe, where patients with a complicated tibial fracture will be randomized to receive ALLOP 2 days after fracture, after surgery. The cells will be placed at the site of the fracture to accelerate the resolution of the fracture, and they will be compared to placebo with the same procedure, which really translates what currently is done for these patients, which is surgery and expecting the fracture to resolve. So we would anticipate an acceleration of the resolution and reduction of late-stage events. This data will be available towards the second half of next year, 2022. Behind that, again, living up to the MSC platform, we have this concept of extending our indications. What you see here in this concept slide of our vision to deliver new targets, you can see what we currently already have, which is from MSCs derived from bone marrow. We educate them and differentiate them into specific therapeutic targets. We've done that for ALLO, and you will see in a minute we've done that also for immunology. Now, what we aim to do is consider alternative sources, but also educate ourselves further through gene modification to get the next generation of professionally differentiated cells from MSCs targeting a therapeutic need. We have one product that is in preclinical. We're currently further improving with that gene modification perspective that we've already taken through an initial regulatory discussion in Belgium, and we will proceed with this target currently in preclinical towards the clinic down the road. To do all that, we have been very active on partnerships, and I've mentioned to you the out-license of ALLO to a couple of Chinese companies, really with one company validating the technology as they're very familiar and experienced in cell therapy, and another one validating the commercial opportunity. This will not only give us the return, financial return, but the opportunity to further the clinical development activities, because these companies will do development on their own costs in China together with our own development. We have divested our manufacturing capabilities and established a agreement with Catalent to produce, because we don't need to constantly produce. We have enough to conduct the current studies, and we need only to produce by campaign. So we've optimized outsourcing our manufacturing while continuing to develop and really establish a relationship with Regenerant to do further development on our manufacturing, and with several academic collaborations to expand research in terms not only for bone, but also, as I said, into gene-modified MSCs down the road. So if we take a global picture of what we've done over the last year or so, and what we're planning to deliver over the next year, you will see that we have completed the recruitment for the study with GTA. We have engaged with the FDA, knowing what we need to do to take the asset to the market in the US. And we will have for GTA the results before the end of this year, third quarter of this year, which will be a major impactful milestone for the organization. On the MSC platform with ALLO, we have published the results on the two studies that I've just mentioned before, and we're actively recruiting again on time for the ongoing study. It's important to say that we've been able to, despite COVID, execute timely on the studies. And we have expanded the platform, and we continue to do research to harness additional targets, and a lot of collaboration have been put in place as we want to really bring in technology and out-license products for commercialization. We've been able also to finance our activities not only through the divestment and the deals we've done, but also through a couple of raises during last year, which gives us enough cash runway to execute on our activities towards the end of this year. We've done that also expanding our shareholders and increasing the long-term commitment of our shareholder base, which really paves the way for us to deliver the value that I again refresh to you, which is based on our technology, our vision of delivering professional cells for a therapeutic target and deriving those cells from MSCs by educate them or gene modify them to that specific therapeutic objective. We believe that we will be able to bring significant value to several unmet medical needs currently unserved. And this brings us back again to the key priorities: deliver on our clinical assets, aim at the commercialization of the assets through partnerships, and bring technology in through those partnerships, and in doing so, expand our target portfolio, bringing additional value to patients. I'll leave with you the contacts that please reach out to us. We're always very happy not only to provide further information, but consider opportunities for partnership. Thank you very much, and look forward to comments, questions, or contacts.